You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey there, Y&R fans. It's Belynda from Soap Dirt, and I am going to delve into something exciting. I know that you're probably all really excited to be at the top of a brand new year. We just tiptoed into 2024. I hope you guys had a great New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, and we've got our first new episode in the U.S. coming on Tuesday the 2nd, which should be the same day that you're listening to this video if you listen right when it comes out. It may be later if you tune in later, but at any rate, I have got 10 sizzling hot predictions for 2024, generally based on what we're seeing on the show and official spoilers, but I'm very excited. This is a year's worth of predictions, so I cannot wait to hear your thoughts and where you're hoping to see storylines go. Before I dig in, if you haven't, please reach down, click subscribe so you don't miss any of our Y&R updates. Let's dig. My first prediction, just right off the bat, and you're going to get a sense of this, of what's building on the very first episode of 2024 when you see it on Tuesday the 2nd. So my first prediction is Sally and Adam get married and maybe start working on a baby too. They did not ring in the ball drop New Year together, but they run into each other after New Year and they kind of do a little reenactment. It's very sweet. And then she asks him out on a real date. I think they're going to baby step, but then once they have their footing under them, I think they're going to walk. Then I think they're going to run, and I think they're going to run straight to the altar. And I'm sure it's going to chap Nick to no end. And I'm excited. I don't mind seeing Nick the Stick get chapped. I just want him to move on with another woman who hasn't been with his brother and stop being so butthurt. My second prediction, Sharon Newman and Chancellor split up. So this coming week, the first week of January, Summer basically asks Sharon about the depths of her feelings for Chance. She wants to know if she loves him. I think Summer is tiptoeing a fine line where she has feelings for him, but if Sharon is like head over heels in love with the guy, then Summer's going to probably suck it up and walk away. But Sharon doesn't love Chance. I would be stunned. I think what she's going to tell Summer is to mind her business, but there's no great love story there. They've not even tried to create a love story on scene. They have given us so little Sharon and Chance time that it's very clear to me this is a bookmark relationship until each moves on to something else the writers have in mind. And then Chance has a serious talk with Sharon this week about his feelings. I think it's over for them before mid-January passes by. My third prediction, I think Nick and Sharon are then going to rekindle slowly, much as we're going to see Adam and Sally taking things slowly. I think Sharon and Chance, after they're split, and then Nick single, and then they're both seeing people that they were with move on with other people. I think they're going to open up to each other. And that's also, you're going to start, I feel like, seeing a sense of this on the Tuesday, January 2nd episode, where Nick stops by Crimson Lights as Sharon is closing down for the evening. They just seem to keep finding their way back to each other. They've had a messy, messy road behind them, but I do think they love each other. I just think it's hard to trust. I think it's hard for Sharon to trust Nick, but in a lot of ways, I mean, Nick's had some issues with Sharon in the past, like with his dad, with his brother, just different things. So I see them starting out as friends and then gradually tiptoeing into romance before it turns into a full-blown thing again. My fourth prediction for 2024, Phyllis and Tucker have a secret fling. She can't really have a public fling with him unless she's just asking for it. Because Summer told her if she took the job that Tucker was offering, that she was done with her. So a job is one thing. Getting into bed with the guy is a whole other thing. And while Tucker has been getting in Audra's bed, I think Audra is turning more towards Kyle, and she also still has her eye on Nate. This girl knows what she wants and goes for it. And I think Tucker is kind of a fallback guy, I hate to call him a safety net because he's not the safest guy, but for her, I think he's a safe space because she knows how he operates. There's no real surprises in him for her. I don't think they've been conspiring together for so long, but I think that Tucker and Phyllis are going to get embroiled in something, starting with a fake date, turning into maybe more fake dates, and then turning into real dates. I'm excited about the idea of them together. They each need somebody who's willing to scheme and plot lot and do rotten things, and that fits the bill for both. My number 5 prediction is that Claire Grace gets full forgiveness from the Newmans. I mean, already we saw this when she held the gun on Jordan until the cops could come, and Nikki was petting her and holding her, and Victor even said that he owed her a debt. Nick wasn't thrilled, but Nick has to acknowledge Claire did the right thing in the end and saved his mother. I mean, he's still a little annoyed about being sliced and diced like a Gensu ad by her Aunt Jordan, but you know, I do think that Claire has a rough road ahead. She's still in the psychiatric hospital, and Victoria and Cole are going to be there. And Victoria, as I predicted, is going to announce she is taking a leave of absence to help take care of Claire, and that's going to leave this weird situation over at Newman Enterprises. But in the end, I think Cole and Victoria are going to do the work, and they might end up playing happy little family with them. We'll see. Our 6th prediction is that Nate Hastings is going to wind up with Audra Charles. She and Kyle seem like a dead end. He's just a himbo, a boy toy, a big nothing. His head's full of fluff, and I think she sees him as a possible means to an end, you know, a backup plan, a something. I don't even know what the appeal is. I know what his appeal, how her appeal to him. She's beautiful. She's smart. She owns her own sexuality. She has complete agency. She's brilliant in business in a lot of ways. But Kyle, I think Nate is definitely more her speed. And she's had a thing for Nate for quite some time. And I think it's finally going to culminate in a little bit of romance. My 7th prediction, I think that once Summer is finally with Chance, that Kyle is then going to want Summer back. Maybe in part because Audra cools off on him, or maybe he cools off on Audra. But I feel like Kyle isn't entirely done with Summer. Remember, he was chatting her up at his parents' vow renewal / wedding redo, but she only had eyes for Chance. And I felt that like that was a little look ahead, a little just an Easter egg about what's to come. My number 8 prediction for 2024, I hope this isn't true, but I kind of feel like it because they made a big deal out of revealing the actor and the character. I just wonder if Nikki Newman is going to cross lines with this new guy, Seth, that she meets at her AA meeting. I didn't see him on the Tuesday, January 2nd episode, but maybe he's just in the background. But they hired Brian Gaskell. He's a pretty decent little actor. He's done some soap hopping before. He's quite talented. He had taken some time off acting, and they lured him back for this Y&R stint. And we know in the past that Nikki's been unfaithful, Victor's been unfaithful. They're at a really good place right now. But when Nikki is off the wagon, her behavior is a lot more erratic, and they haven't had this kind of potential for marital discord in a while, and I feel like it might happen. My number 9th prediction is that Daniel Romalotti is going to cheat with Heather, and Lily is going to come back and freak out about it. We've already seen some things where Daniel's crossing lines. Heather is not just crossing lines, she's barreling over them in a semi-truck. Curling up on his chest while he was asleep was a sneaky snake move. She knows he and Lily are together, but the second she could, she just climbed up all over him, and their daughter took a picture, and I'm sure that's going to come into play later. And Daniel already kissed her, so he's technically already cheated, but I think before Lily comes back that he and Heather are actually going to wind up in bed together. We know he had some sketch issues that broke him and Heather up. And now that he's acting better, Heather wants him back. I don't like any of this, and I don't like the way she's behaving. Our 10th and final prediction for Young and the Restless 2024 is that Billy and Chelsea are going to get married. Their relationship has been rocking on. I like it. I like Billy and I like Chelsea. And at first I didn't like them together because of their messy history, but now I kind of like them together because they are both very messy people, but they seem to really balance each other out. They recognize when each other is heading down a path they don't need to be, and they reel them back in. I actually think they're really good for each other, and I could totally see him proposing, putting a ring on it, and them having a wedding. And I would totally be there for it. I'd send a gift. All right, that's all of my 2024 predictions. I hope you guys have had a wonderful new year. I got to watch fireworks on the beach, which was delightful. And I hope you rang in 2024 in a way that was meaningful to you. Hey, if you haven't clicked subscribe, start the new year by subscribing right here and come back every day, because in 2024, like in 2023, I will be here talking soaps with you guys 7 days a week, like clockwork. As always, this has been Belynda from Soap Dirt, and thank you for tuning in.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.